Coming up on this edition of Talk of the Town, we will talk to Carol Wilcox Jones. She has her annual music camp coming up, and she is so excited about it, as you can probably imagine, if you know Carol. And she'll be telling us all about this year's event. Something pretty cool, we have got Thrasher Banks. He is the one who hosts and produces the Lords of Death podcast. And it's not necessarily as harrowing as you think. It's not like it's some death metal band that puts together a podcast. No, some really cool information he's going to share with us. And with 4th of July on the way, we'll catch up with the Cambridge City Band. That's all on this edition of Talk of the Town.
From the U.S. Bank Studios in downtown Cambridge, Ohio, it's Talk of the Town.
And here we are once again in downtown Cambridge at the U.S. Bank Studios. It's Jeremy Scott with you here for another edition of Talk of the Town. I'll tell you, we have another packed show, so we're going to get right into it here in just a minute after we say hi to our Mr. Producer Man, Adam Green, of course, turning the knobs and pushing the buttons with great aplomb, as he always does.
I make you look good.
You always do well, as good as I could possibly look, and I tell you what, that still isn't very much. It's all relative, though. And speaking of relatives, somebody who I'm not related to is Carol Wilcox Jones.
Maybe in spirit.
Well, yeah, maybe. And that's just because I can tell you what she would tell you, and that's that everything is wonderful.
There it is.
There it is.
All right. Hey, I had to get it in at least once.
I knew you were going to go for that.
Carol,
how do you
pleasure
do?
to have you on as always.
Thank you.
And you are here to promote your music camp.
Yes, I wanted to talk a little bit about the music theater camp. I direct a program for high school students, grades 9 through 12. I've been doing it now for a few years. I have a wonderful staff, a big staff. They come from Michigan, New York, all over to this residential program at Muskingum University.
Awesome.
It's a 1-week intensive.
Ooh.
And it's intense.
Musical boot camp.
It's a boot camp. I should call it that.
There you go.
A music theater boot camp.
All right. Music theater boot camp. And what all kinds of tracks can you take as a part of this?
Well, this is really oriented towards musical theater performance.
Okay.
So there are about 36, 38 kids coming this year. We have a very immersive program. We have a ratio of 3-to-1 with student to staff, which is incredible for a camp. But it's very, like we said, it's sort of intense. But it's lots of fun. So what do? The tracking, we do everything that's related to music theater performance. So that means a triple threat. We have to work on voice and singing. We have to work on acting and that type of presentation, using your body, your face, everything. We do a lot of acting, actually. We do improv and scene study.
Cool.
And then, of course, we do some choreography.
All right.
So there are dance classes every morning. We have voice lessons, private voice lessons. We have group sessions. We actually meet the students, decide then what repertoire we're going to use from the music theater genre. We pull out scenes that help them shine.
Very nice.
And then there is a performance at the end of the week of all the things they've worked on.
So it's actually tailored to the enrollment.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's a great way of doing it. So when is this taking place this year?
We start up on the 23rd. Kids are moving into the dormitories, and we're starting with some auditioning and some dancing, some talking, and getting acquainted. We do pizza party. We do lots of fun things to break the ice. We have games. By Monday morning, we have the show chosen. 90% of it chosen, because the staff stays up pretty late pulling this all together,
Sure.
You might imagine. And then Monday morning, we are off and running.
Wow.
We have a dance class, then we introduce the music, so everybody has music sessions. Because we have enough students to do it, we can present both intimate and powerful big scenes, everything from Les Mis to a little intimate moment. It's quite a nice variety. Last year we did 15 scenes. The students, they were incredible. They learned the music, they learned the choreography, they memorized, they presented 15 scenes.
And they only have a week to learn all
That's
this.
right. We're going to do the performance on Saturday afternoon at 2:30. So if anybody loves music theater and they love to see talent on the stage, these kids, they're really inspirational. They're so motivated. They work very, very hard, all day. Now, in the evenings, I have to say, we do have some R&R. We go square dancing. We have a swimming party. We do sort of a lost and found treasure hunt. We have a movie night. We have popcorn. There are lots of things we do for fun at night.
Lots of fun activities.
Yes, but they really do enjoy, they have such a good time that many of them return every year.
They become alumni.
They have become alumni. Lots of them are coming back from previous years.
That's cool. So, is enrollment still open?
Well, you know what? It's probably not. We're full.
Okay, all right.
We are full, but thank you for asking. Normally I would have a space or two, but we're really packed this year.
That's good.
But that's good. And like I said, we start the 23rd. We go at it full tilt, full boogie tilt, as you like to say.
There you go.
And Saturday the performance will be at Muskingum University in Caldwell Hall. There's a beautiful little theater there just right for us. It holds about 250, and it's always packed for this performance.
How much does it cost to get into
It's free.
that? Free, open to the public.
It's free to the public to come. We have programs. We invite them to stay for a reception, say howdy to the students, reunite with their families, etc. It's just a real inspiring kind of a day.
So then a lot of them go home then after that.
They go home after that. They pack it out. Yes, but oh my goodness, they form such friendships with other students.
I'm sure. And then how old are the students who attend this?
Grades 9 through 12.
Okay.
In other words, if you are
In
next
high school.
year, that's right. If you're in high school next year, you're in. Anybody can apply, and that's all online.
Okay.
And so they can find, they can find us at Muskingum.edu. You'll find us there. And like I said, the kids, if you're a senior, you can still come. So we have kids who've been in there for 4 years.
And this is kind of like one of their last blasts before they head off to college for a lot of them.
Yes, it is. It's a good chance to be on a beautiful campus, to get to be with other people who love as much as you do performing music theater. And you may have been a dancer but not had a chance to sing, or you may have been a singer but don't know much about acting or dancing. We do all three every day, and everybody gets to participate.
It's a very immersive sort of thing.
Totally immersive.
Well, that's wonderful. So again, if people would like to find out more information about this, they can go to muskingum.edu. And if there are parents watching this right now and you want to keep this in mind for next year, make sure that you're at muskingum.edu. Typically speaking, when does registration close? When do you fill up?
Yes. We start registering early in the year, and we're usually filled by May. By towards the end of May, about the 28th, we close up. So if we still had openings, I would continue to take until we're full.
But for next year, people can go to muskingum.edu. I would say start going the first of the year and check back often.
Certainly by spring.
Sure.
Start by spring.
And they can probably contact you directly, can't they?
Oh, of course they can. And here is my little poster. If there's my phone number on it. I don't know if you can see it over there. But
go ahead and read your phone number before we wrap this up.
Yes, my number is 740-705-6866. That's my cell. So that will really get you close to me in a hurry.
And that will get you in touch with this lovely lady right here, one of the best guests we ever have on Talk of the Town.
You're a sweetie.
One of our frequent flyers, Carol Wilcox Jones.
All right.
Thank you so much for coming up, Dr. Jones.
Me. Okay.
It is Jeremy Scott.
Woo!
I just am going to outro that right there. Thank you so much. We're going to bookend with that, and we'll be back with Thrasher Banks right here on Talk of the Town.
Talk of the Town will be right back.
Learning Jungle on Main Street, formerly Main Street School Supply, is located in downtown Cambridge, just west of the courthouse on Wheeling Avenue. They have a huge selection full of educational resources and toys that teach as well as entertain. They feature a large inventory of gifts for children of all ages, and you just have to check out their selection of stuffed animals, puppets, games, and so much more. The Learning Jungle on Main Street, downtown Cambridge, has layaway for your convenience and is the area's only specialty toy store. A world of knowledge is waiting for you at their front door.
The Old Country Loft in Byesville is full of quality country primitives and a whole lot more. Ruth Dixon and her crew bring you the things you need to decorate your home with country charm and warmth. The Old Country Loft, corner of Main and Glass Avenue, Byesville.
Cambridge is more than just a town. This is our home.
Supporting downtown Cambridge means shopping at the places we love with the people we love.
For the stuff we can't get anywhere else.
Food that tastes like home.
And personal service from people who know your name.
The money we spend here will keep our town growing.
Let's all shop small for our town.
The home we love.
And the uniqueness that makes Cambridge
a great place to live, work, and play.
Check out Talk of the Town on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/YRPTV and be sure to subscribe.
Back here at Talk of the Town, getting ready for segment number 2. But before we do hop into segment number 2, I do want to remind you, go back and watch all previous episodes of Talk of the Town. You can do that on YRP TV, our YouTube channel, and don't forget to like us on Facebook as well, YRP TV, home of Talk of the Town. You can go back, you can watch the very first episode with Perry Baranich, the Reverend, as it were, and you can go back and watch the very last one with me, and of course, all future episodes will be posted there as well. So, one of the cool things about this show, we don't just have to promote events. We can promote things that people do, talents that people have, podcasts even. We promoted books, why not podcasts? Here to promote his podcast, I have got Mr. Thrasher Banks with me, and he's got a podcast called Lords of Death. Now, it's not as harrowing as it might sound, but Thrasher, thank you so much for joining us here on Talk of the Town. Absolutely. And actually, on this podcast, you are not based here locally, but you do refer on this podcast to a very pertinent case to something that happened here locally. Go ahead and give us a little bit of detail about what local tie you have on your podcast to this area.
Okay, so this goes all the way back to 1987 when a man named Homer Potts was murdered at his home. He got a knock on his door, and it was an intruder demanding money, and he was stabbed, and his wife was also injured in that. And initially, the police just thought it was just a typical robber was trying to get money, and slowly they started to realize that the wife's story wasn't quite adding up.
Oh, wow.
So that started a lot of talk around town that maybe she was involved, that classic, the wife took out the husband for life insurance or for whatever, to get the estate or for whatever reason. And she was also seen, still staying at the house and didn't appear to be, scared of someone coming back for her. So that all took a turn 20 months later when she was found in the home, stabbed to death. With a screwdriver.
Oh my gosh.
So pretty brutal. So then that got everybody wondering who did this. And this happened in Byesville, so it's such a small area. Everybody in town knew that whoever did it, was walking among them.
Yeah, that is really, really crazy. So you, like I mentioned at the top, are not from here.
Right.
You are based in a different area. What got you interested in something that happened here in Cambridge, or in this case, Byesville, Ohio?
Okay, so the Potts murders went cold it's still a cold case, it's still unsolved. And when I was a kid in the mid-90s living in Dayton, this man named Tim Terrell moved from Cambridge to come live with my mother and her boyfriend and me and my sister. And he lived with us for about 6 months, maybe a little bit longer, and he ended up murdering someone in Dayton and got charged, prosecuted. He's still in prison. And as the years went on, I was always asking my mom for more information about this guy. There's no way that he just killed somebody randomly. There has to be more. And eventually she opened up and said that there had been talk that he had been involved in the Potts murders in Cambridge.
Wow.
And others in the area. So that's how I'm kind of tied into it.
So he committed this murder in Dayton, allegedly, while he was living with you?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. So a little bit about him. Were there ever any signs that would have made you think that he could commit something like that?
So honestly, no. That's the thing about serial killer type people, is that it's a different side of them that they don't show to everybody. So the Tim I knew was he liked to play video games with me and my sister. He hung out with us, and he was a nice guy. I liked him at the time, so it wasn't anything I expected. And I was a kid at the time too, so you're also a little naive when you're a kid.
Sure. So I'm curious to know, what has the local response been to your podcast here in Cambridge?
So I've been getting dozens of messages from locals, and it started out with a lot of wild local theories and a lot of finger pointing, but then I started getting more credible information that was tying into what I had already known. And then a lot of what's in the podcast came from conversations I've had with locals, where my research was matching up with their experience, and it's led to new information in these cases.
Some new information that hadn't been discovered 30 years ago when this was all still very fresh.
Yes.
It's amazing how that can happen all these years later. All this information can come to light.
Sure. I think when it first happened, there's people in this town that know what happened, that have information that stayed silent. and there were repercussions for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that you have posted on blogs. People can actually go and they can see clippings from the Daily Jeffersonian from when the murder first happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I was able, the Guernsey County Library provided me with the original news articles when the Daily Jeff did cover these, and I posted those online for anybody that's interested in checking out the original articles, because it is fascinating.
Very fascinating. This is, I mean, just so interesting that this case happened over 30 years ago. It remains unsolved, and there's still new information coming to light. So if people would like to check that stuff out, go and see the newspaper clipping and read the article that was posted in the Daily Jeff, where can people go to do that?
So I'm on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can find my content there under Lords of Death.
The Lords of Death, and then you also have the podcast, obviously.
Sure, so if you have an iPhone, it's on Apple Podcast, or you can find it on Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, anywhere where podcasts are available. It's out there.
If people want to hear about other things, other cases, are you interested in other cases besides this particular one? I mean, can people find out about other cases that have happened in other parts of Ohio? Have you delved that far yet? Have you branched out into other parts of Ohio, maybe even other parts of the world outside of Ohio?
Not yet. So I'm mostly honed in on Timothy Terrell and his crimes, because I know that there's more than just what he was charged for. So maybe after I'm through with this, we'll get there.
But it sounded to me like it might be a while till you're through with this, because I mean, the one that you're just talking about, the one that happened here locally, happened in 1987, correct?
Right.
So 32 years ago, and new information is still coming to light over that one. So who knows what else you'll unearth in the coming days, weeks, and months. Now that you're out here, I mean, heck, you actually drove here to promote this podcast today. So who knows what could come to light from this?
Right.
But it's interesting. So definitely check him out. Check out his podcast. Again, it's Lords of Death. Look up Thrasher Banks on all social media, Twitter, as he said, Facebook, Instagram. They can pretty much find you wherever, and you can, you're open to contact. People can drop you messages if they have any information that they would like to share with you. And
absolutely,
of course, check out all the content he has posted, whether it be the podcast or the written stuff as well. Well, Thrasher, I know, like I said, that you drove here to be on the show today. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. And let us know if anything new comes to light that you want to come back and promote. It'll be awesome. And we'll be back with more Talk of the Town right here on YRP TV.
Talk of the Town will be right back. Bundy Law Funeral Home has worked since 1924 to earn the confidence of the families they have served and continue their commitment to the community. They offer a complete range of quality services, from funerals to cremation, and honor all faiths and customs. The staff at Bundy Law understands you need to know all the available options to make the right decisions for your family. A price list is available upon request, and they invite your comparisons. You will make the right choice when you choose Bundy Law Funeral Home.
U.S. Bank is the 5th largest bank in the country, and while being recognized nationally for their strength and stability, they continue to provide hometown service. At U.S. Bank, they provide a variety of products and services for your consumer and small business needs, such as free checking with internet banking, loans and lines of credit, and free financial planning services. At U.S. Bank, they're proud to support the growth and development of their communities by helping local business owners achieve success.
For a show schedule of upcoming guests and to watch past episodes, go to yourradioplace.com.
So for segment number 3 of this edition of Talk of the Town, we want to wet your whistle for the 4th of July. Of course, the City Band always does a concert on the 4th, and it's always such a great time. Here's a little snippet of what you can expect.
Good evening. Welcome to another 4th of July concert. Thank you very much for bringing the rain this afternoon. It kind of cooled things off, but it's a beautiful evening. And we have a wonderful group of, I think they're musicians up here. And some of them haven't been playing with us for a while. That's what this concert's all about, is where people come back to play with us, and it's good to have everybody. How about a round of applause for Dr. Tom Gurman? And Mr. Brent Miller right here. You're going to be hearing from a couple other gentlemen a little later, and a young lady, and I'll tell you about that a little later. So I hope you have a good evening tonight. Enjoy yourself.
Independence Day, commonly known as the 4th of July, is a national day of the United States commemorating the adoption of the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776, declaring independence from the Kingdom of Great Britain. Both John Adams and Thomas Jefferson, the only two signers of the Declaration of Independence, later to serve as presidents of the United States, died on the same day, July 4th, 1826, which was the 50th anniversary of the Declaration. James Monroe, the 5th president, died on July 4th, 1831. Calvin Coolidge, the 13th president, was born on July 4th, 1872. The preamble to the United States Constitution is a brief introductory statement of the Constitution's fundamental purposes and guiding principles. It states in general terms, and courts have referred to it as reliable evidence of the Founding Fathers' intentions regarding the Constitution's meaning and what they hoped the Constitution would achieve. I ask you now to please stand as we recite the preamble to the Constitution of the United States of America, which you'll find in your programs. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. You may be seated. One of the commonly heard songs at the time Guernsey County had its beginning was America. Our next tune has been attributed to Dr. John Bull and Henry Carey, who lived during the time of Queen Elizabeth. It was known at that time as God Save the Queen, then later as God Save the King. After the Revolution in America, it became known as God Save George Washington, and in 1779 as an ode to the 4th of July. Finally, in 1832, the words we sing as America were written by Samuel Francis Smith of Boston, who wrote them for a 4th of July children's celebration. The Cambridge Band now presents America.
And per usual, you'll be able to see performances like that on the 4th of July underneath the big pavilion at the Cambridge City Park. We'll be back to wrap up this edition of Talk of the Town right after this.
Talk of the Town will be right back.
Learning Jungle on Main Street, formerly Main Street School Supply, is located in downtown Cambridge, just west of the courthouse on Wheeling Avenue. They have a huge selection full of educational resources and toys that teach as well as entertain. They feature a large inventory of gifts for children of all ages, and you just have to check out their selection of stuffed animals, puppets, games, and so much more. The Learning Jungle on Main Street, downtown Cambridge, has layaway for your convenience and is the area's only specialty toy store. A world of knowledge is waiting for you at their front door. U.S. Bank is the 5th largest bank in the country, and while being recognized nationally for their strength and stability, they continue to provide hometown service. At U.S. Bank, they provide a variety of products and services for your consumer and small business needs, such as free checking with internet banking, loans and lines of credit, and free financial planning services. At U.S. Bank, they're proud to support the growth and development of their communities by helping local business owners achieve success.
And thanks again to my great guests on this edition of Talk of the Town. From the music camp that is the music camp to end all music camps. It's a musical boot camp. Carol Wilcox Jones. Also thanks again to the Lords of Death podcast host and producer, Mr. Thrasher Banks. Check that out. Subscribe to it. All kinds of cool local information to be had there. And of course, the Cambridge City Band concert. Hey, we can't stress enough to you. You want to check that out. The oldest city band in the state of Ohio. How cool is that we have that as a little feather in our local cap here. And speaking of the 4th of July, when you can catch the city band out at Cambridge City Park, don't forget that 96 FM will be out at Boomerama. Not only they're broadcasting live, but providing the soundtrack once again courtesy of Jet Auto Group. Thanks again to Jet Auto Group for again sponsoring that soundtrack as they've done for the last however many years it's been. And of course, we'll be out there. Come out and say hi to us, won't you? And of course, take in the fireworks, which by the way, depend on you. So make a donation to the city of Cambridge because it is, after all, a show for the people by the people. And for our producer man, Mr. Adam Green, I am Jeremy Scott saying, have yourself a fantastic day, night, or otherwise.